morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We got a pretty big day going on today. No planning or anything. We do have several things. First of all, our wheat is starting to head out right at the bloom stage. We're going to get started spraying a fungicide on it. And Zach's hooked back up to the fertilizer buggy. He's got a little bit of fertilizer to spread this morning. After Zach gets me filled up, he's gonna go to spreading fertilizer. I'm gonna be doing some spraying first thing, and whenever he gets done with fertilizer, he's gonna swap out with me and finish up the spraying. Got everything loaded up. Let's get to the field. Here's the field we're starting on. We're on Tom Edwards, about 30 acres of wheat. Shouldn't take us very long at all. As you can see, the heads are all emerging, just starting to bloom. You can see the little anthers there. That means that the head is pollinating. And what we're trying to control with our fungicide application is Fusarium head blight. It's a disease that, of course, it can reduce yield, but the primary problem with Fusarium head blight is that the fungus itself produces a vomitoxin, which is actually toxic to anybody that consumes it. The wheat we grow is soft red winter wheat. It's a low protein wheat. It's typically used in the flour, used to make like donuts, cakes, pastries, crackers, that sort of thing. So you wouldn't want your cake to be poisonous to you, so we're gonna get a fungicide application on this. As you can tell, starting out, it's kind of cloudy. It's actually just a little bit drizzly, and we got a 90% chance of rain forecast for tomorrow. And warm, wet conditions is when that Fusarium head blight or head scab really thrives in. It can set in, and once it gets in the head of the wheat, there's really no getting rid of it. So we got to prevent it with a fungicide before it ever occurs. And it's right at the right stage that the Fusarium head blight comes in, and then we got conditions tomorrow that are very favorable for it actually getting established in the wheat crop. So I'm gonna spray this fungicide and it should protect it. And what we're spraying this year is Prosaro and Full Bore. The Full Bore is actually a foliar fertilizer. It's got 5% boron in it, and I think the boron really helps with setting kernels and the plant not aborting any of the kernels after it pollinates, just to get a little extra shot of nutrients there. Now the Prosaro is a fungicide we've used a lot of success for, heck, I don't know, 7-8 years or so. There's a new fungicide out called Miravis Ace. It's supposed to be a little bit better fungicide, give you a little bit more flexible application window, but the stuff is like $7 more an acre. It's almost $18 an acre to apply it, whereas this Prosaro is about $11.15 an acre. So a lot of people messaged me and asked me which one I'm applying, and I originally told them Miravis Ace, but that was before I had price checked it. So we're able to get this applied on time. The Prosaro will do us a good job, and it'll save us about $6 an acre. I just hadn't seen enough data to where the Miravis Ace is, if you can apply the fungicide at the right time, I haven't seen enough data to where the Miravis Ace is actually worth an additional $7 or so an acre. All right, we got filled up. Now we got to get our booms primed. And what this is doing, since we just cleaned out our booms, you know, we got about 15 gallons of solution in after the tank and the booms and hoses and everything, and we got to fill it up with chemical. Otherwise, the first 100, 200 feet that we spray is not actually getting any chemical applied; it's just getting water applied. I'll tell you what, it is good to be back in the sprayer. It's been, what, like 2 months since I last got to operate it in the field. And to be honest, it's taken me a few minutes to remember how some of the functions work, where the controls are, how to operate this monitor here, but we got it figured out. This is the first time I've been able to operate the sprayer since we've had the windows tinted on it. We had that done, what, like 3 weeks ago, a month maybe. And even though it's cloudy out, I can tell that there's a big difference. The one thing that I don't like is this eyebrow they put across the top. They got it too low, and it's like, at my height, it's like where the transition is, it's like right there in my line of sight. I wish they put it about 3 or 4 inches higher. I will say our wheat crop, you know, I commented on it back when we were fertilizing how good the wheat crop looks, and luckily it still looks just as good. I mean, I think we got a chance for a really great wheat crop right now, and we're a whole lot closer to the finish line than we were when I made those videos. So this wheat's got about maybe another month maybe of growing, of actually filling grain, because it's about to start filling grain, the most critical part. But it's got about a month of that, and then it'll be done. Then all it's got to do is dry down, and then we bring the combine through. After 2, well, really 3 years of subpar wheat yields, let's hope this one can make it to the finish line, because I sure would like to have a good wheat crop this year. Especially considering the prices on wheat is quite a bit higher than what it has been in the past. Now, we don't have it contracted at current prices, unfortunately. We did a lot of our contracting on our wheat. Heck, we did it back last year before the real run up in prices, but even then we were still able to get some attractive prices on our wheat. Tell you what, it sure would be good to be able to start this year off with a bang on some pretty nice income. Because with our acres being down the way they are, our margin for error has definitely gotten a lot smaller. We need everything to make good. All right, so putting my GoPro on the end of the boom, spraying 3 feet tall wheat maybe wasn't the smartest thing. I spent the last 20 minutes looking for my GoPro, thinking I might not ever see it again. Well, the first 30 acres sure didn't take long. I've forgotten how fast this thing can get across the acres, but we just got moved down the road over here to Pete's Farm. Got 100 acres here. They got another 62 acres right beside it. See how fast we can blow through it. Trying to spit a little bit of rain on me. Rain's not supposed to be here until tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. I don't know where this stuff come out of. I don't think it's gonna be enough to affect this application. It's just sprinkling a little bit here or there.
Ah, yes, a beautiful wheat field, except to me, it's a field of death. Don't I look good? It's balmy like 85 degrees out here, and it is as humid as Satan's bathroom. This is not fun. This is a extra thick mass with a filter in it because I am very, very, very allergic, EpiPen allergic, to wheat when it blooms. So when the heads start popping out, I can't breathe. My throat starts closing up, and my eyes start watering, and it's just a bad situation. So I am on allergy pills. I finally got my allergy shots, which is a huge blessing because my insurance didn't want to cover it. So the doctor recommended I get these masks that have removable filters in them, so I'm able to combat if I ever have to be out in this wheat field. The only other time it really bothers me is when we are in harvest, and that is because the dust, it gets on my skin and it creates huge blisters or welts. So that's why during wheat harvest I plant all the soybeans so that I can not be near the combine. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. I've built up some immunity in the last 5 years, so it's gotten a little bit better, but this year I'm really struggling, so better be safe than sorry. So after we're done spraying this wheat, we're gonna go back to the shop and we're gonna change over to burn down. Hopefully get done before, 1, it either rains, or 2, before dark. This morning I woke up, I thought I was doing one thing, and guess what? Within 10 minutes it completely changed, and then 2 hours later it completely changed again. I was supposed to have a Zoom meeting with a company, and had to explain we're farmers and things change quickly because Mother Nature basically makes our schedule. So we're just going with it. We're going with it. It's not fun, but we're going with it.
All right, got the first tank load run out. Kelly's over there getting me another load mixed up. As I said before, we're spraying fungicide today, and the primary goal of this is to control Fusarium head blight. Fusarium head blight is probably the most serious disease that we face in wheat. It actually infects the plant right at the blooming stage when the head is actually pollinating. It's brought on by warm, wet conditions, which the wheat is just beginning to bloom, and we've got quite a bit of rain forecast for tomorrow, and that's when that disease can really set in, is when it stays wet and warm for an extended period of time, which looks like that it will. And Fusarium head blight, otherwise known as head scab, it actually gets into the head of the plant, so we need to wait until the heads, or at least the majority of the heads, have fully emerged from the stem, so we can get the spray down into the spikelets where the disease sets up. Not only can head scab reduce yield, because when a head gets infected, or at least the part of the head that gets infected, the seed, it either doesn't produce a seed or it produces a really small, lightweight, shriveled up seed. But not only can that disease reduce yield, as it grows, it also produces a vomitoxin, which is toxic to both humans and animals. And whenever we deliver to the grain to the elevator, They'll test for vomitoxin, and if the levels are too high, above a certain part per billion, I think maybe it's 2 parts per billion, our wheat can actually be rejected to where we can't even sell it. And if they do take it, it will be at a heavily discounted price. And there's some other diseases, stripe rust, powdery mildew. There's other diseases that can reduce yield, won't affect the grain quality as far as having a toxin in it, but it can reduce yield. And we want to control those other diseases too. But our primary control is head scab and the prevention of vomitoxins in our wheat. You wouldn't want your Krispy Kremes to kill you, would you?
And we didn't have a spring. We had a sprinter. So it was like winter, spring, winter, spring. It would bounce back and forth for a couple of weeks. And now summer's here. The humidity has been turned on and it's staying until probably October. So sweating is real. If anybody wants to come lose some weight, come on down to Tennessee. We'll gladly put you to work. 100% humidity in Satan's bathroom.
Alright, so we got the 95 acres of fertilizer put out, and now we have actually found another 150 acres of wheat that's ready for fungicide now, that originally was told it wouldn't be ready until next week, but after further examination it's ready now. So got some more chemical loaded back up on the water truck, got out here to Madison County where the fields are. Kelly's on her way with the water truck now. We're gonna get back after it, see if we can get the rest of this wheat sprayed today before the rain comes in 5 hours.
Oh man, I missed it. There was a deer that was in the field over there. Dadgummit! Could have got him, but nope. Well, it sounds like Zach's coming down here, so I'm gonna go start filling up and mixing chemicals and get ready to give him. Oh yeah, that's him. Okay, making sure. Ready to load him up soon. And shameless plug, if you have really bad allergies, this is highly recommended. It's on Amazon, anywhere from like $8 to $12. They come with these filters that come in and out, and you can wash them. And they're cotton, so I gotta promote cotton, right? Since corn is planted there and corn is planted there, my backup game is pretty good. Back all the way up. Ooh, that's right. She's good, ladies and gentlemen. She is good. I can also back up a semi-trailer and not hit anything. Matt won the jackpot on wife selection. Just saying. Oh, and there are no backup cameras on this, so I'm doing it old school. You know how we were all taught using mirrors?
Alright guys, we're out here. We've got finally got a break in the weather for a few days. Hopefully it's dried up enough out there we're not going to tear it up too bad. We've got 64 acres of wheat left to spray fungicide on. One full load. It's all here around the shop, so gonna get loaded up real quick, get everything fired up and awake, and go get it knocked out real quick. Let's get after it. 70 acres is what it's going to come out to be, more or less. We had some spots in the fields that were, you know, either wetter or in a damper spot, and wasn't completely out the flag leaf yet. So I'm out here today just kind of touching up the spots that didn't necessarily need spraying earlier in the week, but need it now. It's 3 different farms that we're spraying, so we're just going back and filling in the edges is what we're doing right now. Shouldn't take. There's a coyote. Didn't get the camera in time to get him. Man, everything's bedding in down here. Anyway, shouldn't take an hour and a half to spray all this out. So anyways, that's what we got going today. Alright guys, I apologize, but I forgot to record finishing up in the sprayer. It's 1:45 on Saturday, and I didn't pack a lunch because I figured I'd be knocked out pretty quick, thinking I ate enough for breakfast. But apparently at about 12:45 my stomach said, I'm mad at you now and I'm hungry, so I got distracted by my stomach. But anyways, we got it all licked, got everything put away, got the sprayer parts, got the water truck put up, everything sprayed and caught up. So I imagine we will catch y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.